Hi, my name is Eric Daw from MountyFit, and before we start, I want to make sure you warm up before we do this, because I'm about to give you a workout that requires no equipment, which means there should be no excuses for doing it. So it's going to increase your core strength, it's increase your overall strength, and it's going to increase your balance. But before we get into it, I like to say, let's get into it. So once you set your timer, we're gonna do the first exercise, which is a single leg stand, or a single leg stand, as they say, from a box. So even though I'm doing this from a box, you can do this from a chair. And you can see I can change the difficulty. I can put my heel down to make it actually easier, or to make it easier again, I could just stagger my feet. So you can see there's 3 ways to make this exercise harder, just by basically either keeping my foot in the air, put my heel on the ground, or to stagger my feet slightly one in front of the other. Of course, I want to be able to do both legs. So again, stagger your feet, put one foot in front of the other, and you want to stand and sit right here. Same thing applies if I want to make it harder. I can put my heel out. Again, you don't have to do this. This is strictly an option if you choose to do so. And you're standing and sitting. And again, hardest one is without any contact on the ground with the other foot. The key thing on this exercise is it really makes sure and works your legs individually, which is really great for you. After that, we're going straight into putting your hands on the box and doing push-ups off of it. Okay, I have a box. You may not have a box at home. That's cool. But what you could do is use your couch again. Use something that doesn't move. Or if that's too hard, that's too low, again, you can use a wall. You can do wall push-ups too. So the key thing is there's many different ways of doing this to still get the same result or to work the same muscles. The good thing is that because we're using body weight, we don't need a lot of equipment. We don't need any equipment, or very few things that you can't probably find at home anyway. So I'm gonna set my timer and I'm going straight into a balance exercise. And for this balance exercise, I'm covering one eye and lifting the knee up and going heel to toe. So heel to toe, one knee up as I'm walking. The eye covering makes it a little bit more challenging. If it's too hard for you, just do it with both eyes open. You don't have to do it with one eye closed. I just do it because it gives you more variety and a different challenge. And once I finish, I'm turning around and I am going to do the same thing back, but I have to make sure I switch eyes. Don't do the same eye. You don't want to do the same thing twice, but you do want to be able to give yourself a different challenge. The thing I also want you folks to really focus on is how close my feet are landing. Aim for heel to toe. That actually is what I really want you to aim for. Aim for heel to toe. And once you finish your 30 seconds, we're gonna move on to the next exercise. Okay, for the next exercise, I'm setting my timer. I hope you're setting yours too. We're doing duck walks or crab walks. You can call them whatever you like. But if you notice, I'm trying to keep my hips as low as I can, working from one point, touching it, and working to the other point. It really doesn't really make a difference how big of a difference you're working from side to side. I don't know, 10 meters, 10 feet, whatever the distance is. The key thing is I want you to find a distance you can walk back and forth and stay low, because you want to feel your legs having to work to maintain this position and stay low. Okay, so once we finish the exercise, we're gonna go to our knees. Now I'm gonna have you alternate putting one foot in front of the other. So this is gonna actually test our stability again. And I can do it also with my hands overhead as a different level of challenge. And again, switching. Each time I go ahead and put one foot forward, I just put the other one out, just like that. Nice. And we wanna stay upright and tall as we possibly can as we're doing this exercise and keep alternating legs. That looks good. So I hope it's working well for you. Okay, so a lot of people know this next exercise. We really want to focus and my hand being under my shoulders, knee being under my hips, and maintain an opposite arm, opposite leg hold. You want to make sure that the arm is nice and straight out, thumb pointing up as I just did just there, and that back leg is nice and straight and lifted as high as you possibly can. Or again, I stop thumbing my finger. You can keep your hand straight like mine. The key thing is to keep the arm and leg nice and high and straight. Of course, we have to switch sides, hold the other side. The great thing about the horse stance or the bird dog exercise, it works so much of your body. It works that upper body by stabilizing, using that right arm I have on the ground and stabilizing and keeping that position. It works your core, being able to hold that position also. It works your glute of the back leg, and it works your shoulder of the arm that you have in the air. It works so many of your muscles that I think pretty much it should be in most of your programs or most of your workouts. Okay, so now we're gonna move on. And of course, this is one of my favorite exercises. It's basically palms up behind us and reach forward. The key on this exercise is keeping your chest off the ground, feet in the air, bringing the hands and palms up as far behind you and really reaching forward. What you should feel in this exercise is working your upper back and your rear shoulders, which many of us need to work anywhere. Great for your posture, great for your back strength, and this is a great exercise as a whole. If you can keep those chest up, that really makes a big difference. Okay, so plank. Plank, really great exercise, stabilizes the core, really great exercise. And the key on the holding and making sure you do a good plank, because I see people doing planks all the time, is that they got their hips nice and high. But for this one, I can actually make it even harder. I can make it a dynamic plank by going up and down. So a dynamic plank makes it a little bit harder. You don't have to do this version, but this is another way of making the plank a little bit more challenging, is lifting the hips up and down as you do it. So folks, what do you think about that video? Is this something you like? Let me know in the comments below. And if you need to increase your balance, strength, coordination, also let me know in the comments below and I'll see how I can help. But until then, this is Eric Daw from OmniFit. Take care.